So Cameron, now that we have another instance of some form of dead animal in the periphery of RFK Jr., I'm of course now speaking of the whalehead incident. Okay, do you not even know about this?
No, man, I have not been... Buddy, I'll just say for the listeners' benefit in the simplest terms, I got my ass dumped hard like a week ago, I've just been worrying about that. I don't have any fucking clue what's going on outside of these four walls. So you gotta clue me in. I'll be like the virginal listener, ready to receive the seed of your word.
Okay, yeah. Here, let me pull this shit up.
Yeah, man.
This is maybe the most upsetting one yet.
So, I mean, okay, RFK whale.
Yeah, no. I'll read it to you here. I want you to get the unadulterated one. All right, this is from
The fuck, dude! I just saw one of the headlines. Oh my god. Yeah. Okay. All right.
So anyway, first, so we got RFK Jr. right. So he's got a few interesting stories of dead animals.
Yes.
There's the of course we have the what seemed like just a weird one. Was when he ate the dog. He ate a dog when he went to Korea, and that wasn't and I think we talked about that on here. I think both of us came to the understanding that it's not weird to eat a dog any more than it is to like eat a cow or whatever. You know what I mean?
Right. If you want to make a moral stance about one, then you should take it on all of them. And in Korea, they eat dogs, so that's a thing.
It's like a livestock dog too. They're not like
not everybody does it, but
they're not grabbing the dog from their neighbor's house. That's leased to.
There's a specific breed of dog that is considered a separate species, and that is a food livestock animal.
Yeah. The weird part was the picture that he took where he's just like gnawing on the fucking carcass. It upsets me that he does these weird things to dead animals.
Yes. His handling of it in that specific case was weirder than the overall action.
Yeah. And then, of course, then there's the dead animal inside his brain, the parasite that ate part of his brain and died.
Yeah.
So there's that. Then we had the.
Well, did it die or is it at the reins?
Yeah, I think it's the worms doing the talking.
It makes me think of. Did you ever read the Animorphs?
Yeah, I read some Animorphs.
Do you remember it was? And I haven't looked this up, so forgive me if there's any real Animorph heads out there. But they were these little brain slugs called like yerks, and they would crawl into the ears and they would control people. And the Animorphs were battling the yerks. And then there were also the Andalites, who were like fucking centaur aliens. And everybody could turn into animals. And that was kick-ass. So maybe
I don't remember the lore behind the Animorphs.
I just hope that somewhere out there is a plucky gang of like 13-year-olds who can turn into grizzly bears who are gunning for RFK right now. I hope that it's a thing.
If you could turn into one animal, what would it be?
If I could turn into any animal, I think it would be really cool to be like an orca. I think an orca would be really cool. Because the marine world is like totally alien, and orcas within that world are essentially, not completely, but are essentially like an apex predator. And you would just be able to really explore that world with a pretty open degree of freedom. And that would be neat.
Yeah, I would probably try to stick clear of the ocean just because it is such a fucking... the ocean's a bloodbath, folks. There's just... shit's going down constantly.
Some kind of bird would be cool.
Yeah, I just saw a video earlier today of a octopus just grabbing a shark and like encompassing it within its tentacles and whatnot. I thought it was trying to eat it. I'm not sure. Maybe it was. And then these other fish come up and they're like, oh, well, the tail's kind of hanging out. This octopus starts nibbling on the tail and shit like that. And then eventually the octopus just lets go and the shark swims away, seemingly no worse for the wear. But it's like, man, that's just like a Tuesday afternoon.
I know.
In the ocean,
I know. And so that's the thing. Like a giant squid, that would be... that. I mean, to me, that's maybe the scariest animal on Earth is some kind of big
Or
cephalopod.
one of those like benthic squids with like 30-meter long tentacles, and they look like aliens like floating there.
Yeah.
I forget what they're called.
There's a lot of weird. So I think that's why I said orca, because something like a sperm whale, right, is bigger and maybe more lethal, but then they're diving down into like the deep dark, and they're whatever. Orcas at least have like a social structure. They have the sort of brain function that I feel like would be sort of relatable, and I don't know. I think that would be kind of less jarring, and I wouldn't want to go down deep, because down deep there, it's all bets are off, man.
I think I'd like to be like a tiger or something. That'd be cool.
Tiger would be neat.
Yeah, you're just like a big fucking cat.
Well, the thing about being like an animal like
that, you can
that,
jump wicked far. You know what I'm saying? Dude?
Yeah. The thing about being an animal like that, and this is true probably to a lesser extent now of orcas, but animals like that, like you do run the risk of being poached, like for like East Asian medicine, and then like tigers specifically, and then also like for like being put in some rich guy's menagerie or like a zoo or something.
I would not want to be a 19th century tiger.
Yeah,
I'll say that.
Maybe like a 17th
Cheerio.
century tiger out there just like fucking up British fucking Raj dudes.
Dude.
Or I guess that'd be more like 18th to 19th century. But what about being like a crow? I think being a crow would be really cool, or a raven.
Crow would be cool,
because you could kind of still like fuck around and like exist in society. You're at relatively low risk of like human predation, which to me is the scariest. But you're able to sort of interface with human society and culture in an ambiguous way. Nobody's gonna like notice that you're there, right? Because crows are kind of always around. And I mean, I'm sure that there is natural predation of crows from like other birds of prey and stuff, but I don't think that it's at like some insane level. And they also are very intelligent and have like this kind of little society. And I don't know. I think a crow or a raven could be pretty neat.
Yeah, that might be cool. Yeah,
I think if I was going to be a bird, that's what I would be, a raven.
Yeah. Anyway, so RFK Jr. would choose none of the above because he just wants to eat these animals and like help keep their.
You know what? RFK Jr. is kind of like the Predator.
Yeah, he is.
He's got like kind of like he's got kind of Predator vibes.
Yeah. So so then we got the third animal story with RFK Jr., which was the bear one, which is one of the most insane like news cycles I think any presidential candidate has ever had, which was obviously that he had come across either he killed it himself or somebody else had killed a bear cub that he then took really upsetting pictures with the corpse of, and then he left it in Central Park and staged it to look like a bicycle accident.
Yeah, because he had kept it too. And this is a common thing, and this is, I think, part of this whale story you're about to tell me, is that he like had these like intentions of stuff to do with the bear. Like he was like, oh, I'm gonna eat the meat or whatever. But it was like on a road trip, and then it just like he kept it with his car for too long, and then it was gross, and he was like, well, we gotta ditch the bear. We gotta get rid of the bear. So he was like, well, this will be funny. People will think this is hilarious, a dead, rotting bear in Central Park. And it's like, no, man.
Nobody's going to think that's funny, man. First of all, nobody's going to think that a bear died because somebody hit it with their bicycle. Then that person left their bicycle at the scene. And then that this would be funny.
I mean, maybe the bear got into a fight with a crackhead. Like, I don't fucking know. But, like, it's certainly not... It's funny to me that it seemed to him like that was like a plausible scenario to like leave a dead bear.
That's the thing. It's like
it also sounds like it could be like a Pixar movie, like A Bear in Central Park. Like it's not. Yeah, I don't know.
Yeah, very upsetting. Anyway, there's a new one.
Yeah.
It comes out. It involves his daughter. RFK Jr. beheading whale story resurfaces after he endorses Trump. Yeah, so this is from Newsweek. Robert F. Kennedy Jr. once decapitated a dead whale with a chainsaw on a beach, according to his daughter, Kick Kennedy. Also, his daughter's name is Kick, like K-I-C-K.
Yeah. Kick
Kennedy. In a resurfaced interview with Town & Country in 2012, Kick Kennedy described the event as normal. So they had found a dead whale that had washed up on the beach on Squaw Island in Massachusetts. Mm-hmm. According to her, RFK Jr. ran down the beach with a chainsaw, cut off the whale's head, and bungee corded it to the roof of the family minivan because he liked studying animal skulls and skeletons. The family then drove 5 hours back to Mount Kisco, New York, with the whale on the roof. Every time we accelerated on the highway, whale juice would pour into the windows of the car, and it was the rankest thing on the planet, said Kit Kennedy. We all had plastic bags over our heads with mouth holes cut out, and people on the highway were giving us the finger, but that was just normal day-to-day stuff for us. So yeah, anyway. I'm just picturing the scene of this family in a car, all wearing plastic bags on their heads, and a dead whale head, chainsawed off, bungee corded to the roof of the car.
So the thing that is okay, you have to think that a guy like a Kennedy has the resources to just like it. A lot of this stuff, it says to me like he has like real like impulse control issues, which I get that, but he has real impulse control issues, and like he can't turn down these like last minute immediate opportunities to like indulge this like. Okay, let's give him the benefit of the doubt and say that it's just like a normal like scientific or creative interest in like taxidermy or like which isn't something I appreciate, but I'm not gonna like demonize someone.
I understand that it's a legitimate hobby.
There's a legitimate hobby out there, and I think that if somebody's into hunting and stuff, I guess it makes it easier for me to stomach that if I know that there's like some legitimate reverence and like anatomical curiosity and like scientific thought behind it. But again, that's being very, very diplomatic here. But I do think that it's really odd that like he's got to have the resources to get a whale head like at a better time. Yeah, you know what I mean.
That's
like
exactly
Massachusetts
what I'm thinking.
royalty. You think he couldn't reach out to Woods Hole and be like, "Hey, man, if I make you guys like a $50,000 grant or something, like, can I get a skull? Can I get a whale skull?
Yeah, a whale skull? Yeah.
Maybe not. Like, I mean, I'm not saying that's, like, something that they would do officially, but, like, I'm just saying, I feel like a Kennedy could get a whale's head, you know?
Yeah.
So the fact that he's, like, feeling like he's gotta do it in this weird roundabout kind of, like, oh, I gotta take advantage of this rare opportunity. Like, just, pick a better time.
Yeah.
If you want to fuck around with a whale head.
Again, he's got considerable amount of money. Why? He probably could have transported it some other way. Could have gotten like a little trailer hitch or something like that.
Yeah, or like said like, hey man, since none of us have to be anywhere because we're filthy rich and we can just hang out here another day. I really want to figure out this whalehead thing. Why doesn't mom take one of the other cars? Or like, fuck it, we could probably fly her back home. I'll hang out here and like deal with this whalehead. I don't know. To me, there's so many. Assuming that the whalehead is like a normal thing to want, there's a lot of easier ways to deal with the whalehead once you've decided you want the whalehead. And then on top of that, it's like, well, it is also like, it's weird. It's weird that he wants the head.
It is weird that he wants the head. Yeah,
and also like keeping a chainsaw at your vacation home. Mm-hmm. Maybe you need it. Maybe you need it sometimes. Yeah, you're on an island. I can't imagine that there's like a ton of trees. So what's up with that?
I also doubt that this man's doing his own chainsaw.
Yeah, I mean,
I doubt that
maybe he likes to do that. I don't know.
Yeah, maybe it makes him feel normal.
What's his net worth? I'm really curious. Let's see what Forbes claims.
Yeah.
Oh, this website's just not.
But yeah, the whale juices seeping into the car. My God, man. So how do you even clean a car after that?
Yeah, it seems like you'd have to get it professionally detailed.
I guess he could just buy a new car, but...
Let's see.
I mean, he's got to have a lot of money.
It's not actually that. It's... Oh.
What's that?
Okay. So the Kennedys are among the wealthiest families in America. While details of the family's trust are largely unknown, it is estimated to be worth $1.2 billion in 2015. His share of inherited Kennedy family assets, which I'm assuming is outside the trust, is worth about $4 million, which includes a $1.75 million to $6.5 million stake in Wolf Point, a sprawling luxury property in Chicago. Let's see. Built his career. Well, there's just not a figure here.
Yeah.
He's got some Bitcoin.
Yeah.
Real estate. There's not a clear answer here. 15 million is his approximate net worth.
Yeah. Interesting. Yeah, it's not as much as I thought.
No.
I mean, I guess he is.
Well, there's that trust, right, which is probably always being invested and at least maintaining value that I'm sure he has access to. And that might not be considered part of his net worth because it's the family trust. But I bet he's got access to more than 15 million if he needs it.
Yeah. I would guess that
the 15 million is probably just what he has personally with his wife, who is also wealthy. And that's that.
Yeah. But yeah, he has the black sheep of the Kennedy family, so they probably keep some of that money away from him. I mean, the guy's chopping heads off of whales on the beach. You're not gonna give a guy like that too much money.
Let's see who's the richest member of the Kennedys.
Oh.
Connor Kennedy. His son is 10 million.
Mm-hmm.
Joseph Kennedy is 43 million, so he's richer than Robert.
That's Joseph the Third?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Ted was
Kerry
worth about
Kennedy?
50.
What about Kerry Kennedy?
Kerry Kennedy. Let's see. JFK was about 100 million. Maria Shriver was about 100 million. JFK Jr. was about 100 million. Caroline Kennedy is 250 million. She's the eldest and only surviving child of JFK and Jackie.
Okay. Yeah, that makes sense.
Joseph was worth the most. RFK Jr. is the least.
Okay, yeah. Interesting, yep.
He's spending his money on weird shit, I'm sure.
yeah.
Tell you what, guys, I'm going to go to Korea. I'm going to eat a dog. I heard you can do that over there, and it's not even weird. It's not even weird over there. If you want to eat a dog, they'll just let you.
You can eat all the dogs you want
to eat
over
the
there.
dog, and they'll just let you do it. It's not even a problem. And it's not more expensive to eat the dog. It's just a normal.
Okay, now you kind of sound like Macho Man or Eddie Savage.
I feel like I'm sounding more like Beetlejuice. For your daughter, Shook. Yeah. So I do a pretty good Macho Man.
You do a pretty good Macho Man. Yeah.
All right, I'm gonna tell you now, Mean Gene. Yeah, you can go to Korea and you can eat yourself a dog. Yeah, the cream of the crop will rise, but the dog meat will settle to the bottom of the briny deep, where the whale heads and the Hulk Hogans of the world wait to drag you down. But the Macho Man can't be. Yeah.
If I should do a whole episode like that.
Yeah. As RFK Jr. as Macho Man.
Yeah.
Randy Savage.
Yeah. Randy Savage playing RFK Jr. Yeah.
Yeah.
Randy Poffo is Robert Kennedy Jr.
The Whale Snatcher.
In The Whale Snatcher.
Cheryl, get my chainsaw. Yeah. Oh, there's a perfect opportunity. And I'll tell you, the Macho Man, RFK, doesn't waste an opportunity to study the head of a cetacean. Yeah.
Yep.
Ring, ding, 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 ding.
All right.
So anyway, so this story has come out as RFK Jr. His political armor was not strong enough to withstand that the bear story. The bear story basically did him in at that point. He had survived the dog story. He even survived the brain parasite story.
Yep.
The bear thing was too much. Was too much for him.
It was
so
a bridge
took him
too
down.
far. Yeah.
Yep. He seemingly had run out of money to continue running. The donors had kind of I kind of backed away from him, and he seemingly had maybe like a month or two ago attempted to drop out and endorse Trump in and receive like some kind of cabinet position. At this point, though, Trump was running against Biden, and so didn't need it. Didn't need the help. So he said no. And then in recent days, RFK Jr. had attempted to drop out and seemingly endorse Harris. But there's no real reason for that because, and I want to talk about this a little bit in a minute, but he had developed a really weird coalition that was taking votes from both candidates, but in these later days, mostly just the freaks on the right supporting him, and he had lost a lot of his left-wing support.
Yeah.
And so, Harris obviously wanted him to stay in the race because he's taking more votes from Trump than he was from her. And Trump finally now really kind of needs those votes, from everything that's happened in the last
month
it's
and actually, what's crazy, dude? There's a fucking race on our hands now.
Yeah. Yeah, especially now that RFK Jr. has dropped out.
Yeah, there is a fucking race.
They're basically fucking neck and neck right now.
Yeah, it's and I did not see this coming, and I there's been a lot of weird maneuvers and a lot of changes. Yeah. It has been exciting and interesting. Yeah. There's a lot going on.
As somebody who is not going to vote for anybody this election,
I thought you were voting for me.
I just, if you would have let me finish, I said except for you.
Okay, well I got nervous, man. Listen, I've got abandonment issues.
I'm your one dyed-in-the-wool supporter. Okay,
I've got abandonment issues right now, and I need to know that somebody still supports my platform and my campaign.
Yeah, you need
Jesus Christ! I mean, here I was thinking that I was going to win.
Yeah. Well,
who am I sucking votes away from?
Yeah. Yep. Cornel West.
Yeah, realistically, anyway. Yeah. I'm gonna take like a vote away from. I forgot he was still in it.
Yeah, he's pivoting towards the anti-vax crowd that RFK Jr. is leaving behind, like left-wing anti-vax stuff. But anyway, so RFK Jr. Yeah, he's now dropped out and he's endorsed Trump, and it's very funny that like JD Vance had like another fucking devastating clip come out this week of him just not being a normal person.
Yeah, was this him at the
donut shop?
The donut shop.
It's like, dude, how are you so bad? fuck, wait, where? Oh.
Donut shop.
Yeah, okay, so, yeah, so so JD Vance had a devastating week, where he went to a donut shop, and, like, I mean, dude, it's just, like, the guy's, like, this was worse than, when he got tossed that, like, softball question, and, like...
Yeah, and was, like, a total fucking
charged
freak
them
about
out.
it, yeah.
Yeah, and then, so, there was also, he went to a deli recently, and asked the guys at the deli if they have any food that's bad so that he can give it to the journalists on the plane. And it's just like, okay, normal fucking thing to say. Hey, do you guys have any shit here that sucks?
I think he probably meant, like, rotten.
No, because he didn't say bad like that. He was like, basically, like, he worded it, he's like, do you have anything here that isn't that good or that you don't really like that much? Like, it is basically how he worded it.
Yeah.
And they were just like, well, he's like, yeah, I'll take it back onto the plane and give it to the journalists. And it's like, okay, like,
dude, he's I will say
he doesn't get it, man.
He's also just, like, aggressively unfunny.
Yeah.
He's not a funny man.
Yeah, like, he's trying to be like Trump, like, shitting on journalists and stuff like that.
Yeah.
The problem is that, like, Trump is funny when he shits on people.
Trump has a
like,
natural comedic element to him.
JD Vance just can't stop the venom from coming out when he does things. So, like,
right, Trump
he's
is
not
very good about the, like,
Yeah.
well, you know, I some people might say she's a fat pig, but not me.
Yeah.
I wouldn't say that, but I've heard it. I've heard it said, and I don't know. You tell me.
Right, like, there was, like, at the time that Trump said to the crowd, he was like, sir, did you just call him a fat pig? Do not say that. And he's talking about, what's his name? Chris Christie.
Yeah.
He was like, do not call him fat. You shouldn't say that. And he just, like,
Yeah.
just doing a bit, but, like, so Trump, like, does bits and stuff. But JD Vance is just, like, unfunny and, like, just, like, really, like, rude in an unjuiced way. Like, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Donald Trump's got the juice. Less this time than before, but he's got the juice. JD Vance doesn't. He's just like, hey, do you guys have stuff that sucks that I can give to the journalists? It's like, what? Like, why is this thought even enter your head?
Yeah.
But then he goes into a donut shop, and he's going to, like, order donuts, and the girl behind the counter immediately is like, I don't want to be on camera, please. And he's like, okay, yeah. And then he's like, I'm JD Vance, and she's like, okay. and then she asks him what he wants, and what does he say? He's just like, oh, you know, whatever works. For the donuts. It's like, not just say, fucking, yeah, I'll take maybe 3 chocolate.
Right. He was like, I don't want donuts. I am here to appear normal. Please put some donuts in a bag and I will give you money for them.
Yeah.
This is what a person would do in a donut shop. Like,
yeah. And then he, like, doesn't even know how to order them. He's just like, yeah, it's just whatever works. It's like, whatever works. Like,
dude, if somebody came in to my bar and I said, like, what do you want to drink? And they said, whatever works. I'd be like, all right, man. Well, currently me not doing anything for you is working pretty well. You let me know if you decide you'd like for me to do something more than that for you.
Yeah.
Because I'll do it and then charge you for it.
Yeah. But, yeah. So what's working is nothing.
Yeah.
So,
Currently what works for me is this. This is great. If anything works for you differently than that, you keep me in the loop because I am here.
And I will sell you a beverage for
it.
American legal tender.
Yeah. 100%. Yeah, dude, it's so funny. I'm like completely obsessing now with the idea of like a biopic about this race where Trump is portrayed by Hulk Hogan, who has come out to, and RFK is Randy Savage, and it's just like a weird pseudo retelling of like the Mega Powers thing, where like because they were Hulkamania and Macho Madness were like rival schools, dude, and like then for a while they teamed up. Yeah. And it was the Mega Powers. And there's this great promo where they're going to shake hands, but like the power's too great and they like almost can't touch.
Hulk Hogan, what is happening?
Well, you know, me and Gene, we really don't know what we're dealing with here, man. And I'm just kind of a little worried about locking up here. It's all right. Because we just might blow the whole planet up, you know. Everybody knows that Hulkamania is the strongest force in this universe. But when I hit that ring and I saw what the madness was all about, I realized there was a whole nother universe out there, a whole nother frontier, and and the power of the madness and the mania just blew my 24-inch guns out, man.
You mean to tell me there is another solar system, Macho Man?
Unbelievable. I'm still in a state of shock right now. In fact, I don't think I'm going to be coming down for a long period of time. Yeah, reckless abandon is what I used to be. Yeah, but Elizabeth opened up my eyes, and the big man right here, the big man, yeah, he endorsed Macho Madness and he gave me direction. Yeah. Reckless abandon used to be, but direction now with the mega powers, yeah. Mega powers, yeah. I feel the power now. I feel the power right there, big man.
Sure, it
yeah.
wasn't a hit over the head, Macho Man.
Oh, no, man, I'm all right. In fact, I've never been better, yeah. Don't you worry about the hit over the head, man. I'm just worried about where we're going from here. Is it this stratosphere, man? Is it the ionosphere with the madness and the mania as one guiding force? We could go ahead and take the whole
I cannot believe this. And all that has happened here on Saturday night's main event. The Mega Powers, the Madness, Macho Man Randy Savage, and the heavyweight champion and Hulkamania.
And I'm just like, I can just feel like, what are you gonna do, Kamala? When the because Hulk would definitely say Kamala. What are you gonna do when the Mega Powers come down on you, brother? And it's like,
yeah, the power of Hulkamania and Macho Madness.
like I love it so much.
Yeah.
But it's not gonna happen. See, I'm like killing my voice even trying to do this stupid fucking Macho Man bit.
Yeah, you can do it for about 5-10 minutes and then you're done.
Yeah, it's bad.
Yeah.
I'll be feeling this for the rest of the day.
Yeah. So anyway, so JD Vance can't order fucking donuts.
Yeah.
And then right after that is when RFK Jr. drops out, endorses Trump, and you could tell that RFK Jr. he doesn't like Trump. Like, you know what I mean? Like, he even initially said when he first started running, and like, RFK Jr. was running more of like a left-wing thing to begin with. But he, you could tell that like he's sitting there on stage with Trump, and he's just got this look on him where he's like, man, I can't believe I'm really doing this shit.
Yeah.
But like now Donald Trump is basically campaigning with RFK Jr. as if RFK Jr. was his running mate.
It's so funny because JD Vance is such a goose egg.
Yeah, dude, JD Vance has just had too many terrible rounds now that they're basically just locking him in the basment. Like, well,
and here's the thing: what's stopping them from like just rescinding the offer and giving it to RFK?
Dude, I don't know. Like,
is there some like legal...
Can you do that?
I don't know.
No, but I mean, like, can you do that like politically too? Like, that would just like it would look so bad. But this already looks so bad. It's just,
and that's the thing. It's like in this race in particular, it's like it wouldn't be the craziest thing that's happened.
Yeah, it wouldn't.
The Dems already have that locked with Joe dropping out. Like that, I think will maintain the status of like biggest like upset, biggest change to the game. So I don't know.
Yeah, it's tough. It's tough to tell. But yeah, so the JD Vance is just being hidden now. Just another gigantic L for TJ, Donald Trump Jr., who was the one who like really fought to have JD Vance be the pick. I mean, I don't know why you would ever listen to Donald Trump Jr. He's so unbelievably stupid.
Oh, both of the Trump sons are they're like Beavis and Butthead.
Yeah,
they just have this like mouth-breathing fucking crony
fucking dullards.
Oh, and Eric is the real dim bulb, but like JFK Jr. I'm sorry, JFK Jr. Listen to me. Also a fucking fail son, but like it's the year of the fail sons, folks. Yeah. It really is. But Donald Trump Jr. Too many juniors. Donald Trump Jr. is just like a coked out fucking freak.
Yeah. He like basically doesn't understand how to be a human at all, which is why he likes JD Vance. But like, I mean, there's the famous story of Donald Trump like screaming at Donald Trump Jr. because he went to a Yankees game in like jeans and like a shirt or jersey, and he was just like screaming at him for not wearing a suit out in public.
Yeah,
like
you're no son of mine, you schlub.
Yeah, like he fucking hates Donald Trump Jr.
You know who he loves? Barron, dude.
Barron, yeah.
Barron's his tall, perfect child.
Yeah, fucking like 6'7",
fluent
kid.
in Slovenian.
Yeah, yep. Yeah.
Just fucking awesome. That kid rocks.
Get that guy on a basketball court, man.
Yeah, dude.
Oh.
Big ears, too.
Mm-hmm. Yep, the largest son. But yeah, so...
I can see that being a thing that Donald Trump genuinely cares about, like in the ranking of his boys.
Yeah.
Well, of
Barron's
course,
the
Barron's
tallest.
the biggest, so there is... Well, that's not worth nothing, but...
Yeah. Yep.
He's tall. He's like 6'6", right?
He's tall now. I think he's like 6'7", man.
God damn.
Yeah. Because he like towers over Trump, and Trump's like 6'3".
Yeah, Trump's a big fella.
Yeah. But
Trump's got a fat ass, dude.
well, yeah, he also has a diaper,
Yeah.
so that makes the ass
Just
faster.
to prevent, any leakage. Which, look, I get it, dude. Like, there are times.
Do you think
in your life-
which end do you think he leaks from?
the back?
Yeah, the
The back, dude. I mean, he might have like a swollen prostate too. Like, I wouldn't be surprised if it's both, but he for sure like doesn't have like a tight butthole. And I'm not saying I'm not even making any like sexual assumptions. I think it's like literally
There's only
just, like,
so much. There's only so many Filet-O-Fishes
and like
chocolate
Diet Cokes
milkshakes
you could fucking chug. Yeah. And like Sudafed.
before the body's processes start breaking down.
Yeah. 100%.
Yeah.
100%.
Yeah. I agree. I think he's leaking from the back,
Yeah.
dude. But anyway, yeah. So like JD Vance has really been relegated, just locked in the basement while Polite Company comes over now because he just can't stop being a fucking freak.
Yeah, he's absolutely like lost the plot. He's
Yeah.
to me that was like always a really surprising choice.
Yeah,
but,
that was like the worst possible pick that you could make.
But whatever. I mean, it's not like say what you will about him. He's not some actual like political mastermind or like juggernaut in that sense. Trump is.
Yeah, and I mean, it seemed like, and yeah, Donald Trump doesn't like JD Vance either.
No, he very clearly. And when
Yeah.
people like, there's all this like off the record stuff of people being like, oh, like, how do you feel about the weird thing? And he's like, they don't say that about me. That's all JD.
Yeah.
Like, that's
I know.
No, that guy sucks.
That's
he
the
is
thing.
weird. Like,
Yeah. That's so funny when he said that.
Yeah.
He's like, they're not talking about me.
yeah, nobody said that about me, man. That's all JD.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, it is funny because like I remember when they were starting to try out the weird thing, I was like, that is not going to work on Trump whatsoever.
Yeah, he doesn't
and it
care.
hasn't. But it worked on JD Vance.
yeah, all of that,
and
stuff,
all of
the stuff
those
has
other
worked
like
out.
weird trad cath freaks.
Yeah,
Like, but yeah, so I did want to just like really once again lament one of my favorite presidential campaigns in history, RFK Jr. He came into the race as first he was running as a Democrat and trying to primary Joe Biden. When it became clear that if they didn't let fucking Bernie get it, they were never gonna let RFK Jr. get it.
Yeah.
Like, so they kind of pushed him out. So then he ran as an independent, and initially he was like a left-wing independent,
Yes.
kind of like some like environmentalism was his big thing, but then obviously he's an anti-vax.
That's a big part
And,
of it too, and that's really off-putting to a lot of like mainstream Democrat voters or normally Democrat voters, because that has been so pushed.
And it sucks too. But like the thing is, he kind of destroyed his like left-wing like support. At first, like he had like Woody Harrelson was supporting him.
Yeah.
Woody Harrelson's like pretty famously like a Marxist, like anarchist kind of.
Yeah.
Woody Harrelson's also like super anti-vax. But,
Woody Harrelson's fucking crazy.
Yeah.
But he falls on like a side of crazy that I feel slightly more sympathetic towards.
Oh yeah,
Not
yeah.
with the
Like,
anti-vax
I fuck
stuff,
with
but,
Woody.
like,
Yeah.
But like that's the thing. Like there are people that are anti-vax that I'm like, all right, like I don't like that, but I do like some other things you say. But then there are people that are like that are also like Sandy Hook was fake and like all kind like the full on like QAnon people where anti-vax is part of their belief in like the lizard man cabal, and that loses the plot. I'm interested in it.
Yeah.
I find it deeply nourishing to read about, but
I think it's fine to have like healthy like skepticism about like the pharmaceutical industry and like kind of like maybe what some of the things it pushes, but let's be honest, like we've got like enough like the polio vaccine works. Like, you know what I mean? Like
man,
shit
look,
like that. Like
it's like it's people. I think it's like a lot of these issues. I think people get bogged down in an inability to process nuance, right? Like, okay, what was really frustrating about the vaccine debate to me, as someone who gets vaccines and got the COVID vaccine and did not become magnetic or like, you know, become a woman or whatever all the things about that were. And I believed that was the right thing to do, and I still do. People felt like they had to either be like, okay, vaccines are evil and every vaccine will fucking do you harm, or vaccines are a perfect science and any word against them is ludicrous and outrageous.
Both of those,
and both of those stances are factually incorrect, right?
I used to work for a company, and I did work for like companies like, I'll just say companies like Pfizer and stuff like that. And let me tell you, they're not interested in fucking science.
No.
And I have done work for these companies. I didn't work for them, but I worked for companies that got like contracted by them.
Yes.
And like they'll fucking pressure these companies to maybe
put shit out
things like, you know what I mean?
Right,
And we're just talking about different risk assessments and stuff like that for these, like not even the clinical stuff.
Yeah.
So like saying like trust the science and all that kind of stuff. It's like, well,
right. If we were talking about
these are large
science,
corporations that don't care about the science. They care about their bottom lines.
Right. But so here's like, I've known people who have gotten the flu vaccine and had pretty serious complications from it. So like, and that's not a controversial thing to say. Like, it shouldn't be, rather, right?
Yeah.
Of course, there can be like serious complications to vaccines, just like there are to any medical treatment, right?
Yeah.
And what you're doing when you accept medical treatment is you're accepting that risk. You're saying, okay, the risk of not accepting this treatment to me seems objectively worse for either myself, those around me, or both, than the risk of getting the treatment, right? So when you're getting the COVID vaccine, it's not like saying I believe that there's no possible risk or that this is like perfect science. It's that I value the lives of people around me who would be more affected by this disease than I do worry about the potential for like some largely negligible side effect from getting this vaccine. And there are examples of all exceptions to all rules, but like the vast majority of people, I think it was the absolute right thing to do.
Yeah, like both of my parents have had cancer. They're both like immunocompromised because of that. So like, so like I got it. You know what I mean?
Of course.
So
I don't keep getting it because I kept getting COVID when I had it.
Yeah, that's the thing. It's like I think we could also say too. It's like, all right, but they did kind of fucking suck and not really do much.
The vaccines weren't great, and they were rushed out, and this and that. So like, and that doesn't mean that I think it was wrong, and I think that we shouldn't have gotten them. I don't regret getting it. It hasn't adversely affected me at all, and I think that it was the right stance to take.
Yeah.
So there you go. Like,
yeah, I think we're definitely on the same page there. But yeah, so like that's the thing. So RFK Jr. kind of like he initially had like sort of this like more broadly left-wing coalition, anti-war and stuff like that. And the thing is, like, prior to running for president, he was pro-Palestine. He even like held the line that Sirhan didn't kill his dad. He kind of like adhered to Elisa Pease's hypothesis that it was his bodyguard, Thane Eugene Caesar, working with the CIA, that killed him from behind. And then he starts running.
Literal back shots, bro.
Yeah, dude's name was Thane Eugene Caesar. I'm sorry if anybody's an assassin. It's a dude with a name like that.
Yeah, his name was Thane Eugene
Caesar. Yeah. But anyway, so like he had like some pretty good positions, and then he just immediately, when he runs for president, switches to being like insanely pro-Israel. And my best guess is that there's probably some pretty good blackmail on him that maybe the Mossad has, because, you know, he was friends with Epstein. He traveled on the Lolita Express, and obviously Epstein is connected to Israeli intelligence as well as American intelligence, and of course he was taught by Robert Maxwell, who was like a triple agent, I believe, with like Mossad, MI6 in the U.S. So I'm guessing there's some pretty good blackmail on RFK Jr. And they nabbed him right there, you know. So that would be my best guess for that. And then, so he started like and then like once the Gaza genocide started, and he obviously was still pro-Israel, he started really losing a lot of his left-wing supporters. And he started pivoting to more right-wing language, talking about freedom and all that. And kind of just like pivoting to more of like a libertarian kind of thing. And that's when, he started to get more like right-wing supporters. And now he was more on the right, so now that he's dropped out, he's endorsed Trump. You can tell he doesn't like Trump. You can tell he doesn't like him as a person. He doesn't seem entirely thrilled about this, but he has been promised some kind of position in the Trump administration.
And
if Trump
that
wins.
Obviously is worth
Trump
it
has even floated out the possibility of making him director of the CIA.
That would be insane, dude.
That would be so fucking insane. Like, okay, like, what the fuck? Like, dude, that would be another one of those things that would just drill itself into my brain.
Yeah, you would be losing sleep over that. That's the sort of thing that takes a guy like Evan and just sends him off the deep end into fucking total nonsense.
Yeah. So I want to see it happen. But yeah, so there's that, and then so he's on Team Trump now. Trump's basically just like fucking campaigning with RFK Jr. now, and JD Vance is, like we said, just locked in a cage in the basement. There's throwing slaps
because he can't even handle donut duty, dude.
Like, he can't
do
even
some
handle
fucking press releases where you go to like small businesses and whatever, and he's just like, oh,
and
okay,
he is
like
swinging and missing at each of these.
Yeah.
Like,
Every lob that gets thrown his way, he's like fucking up at T-ball right now.
Dude,
It's like, buddy, just hit the ball, dude. Like,
it's on the tee.
It's not gonna hurt you. Just hit it.
Just hit it.
Just hit it.
Like, don't charge the mound.
Yeah.
Don't
Dude, imagine charging the mound in a game of T-ball.
Dude, that'd be so sick.
Oh goodness.
Yep. But yeah, anyway, so there's that. And then the Dems now, they just had basically the DNC, which was basically the RNC from like 20 years ago.
Yeah.
Like, dude, the fucking Democratic National Convention, I didn't watch any of it. I would rather do anything else. I would rather peel off my fingernails than watch that. But it was just like, dude, they're going so far right now. I mean, they're just like, they were bringing in cops to talk about how they're increasing police funding, that they're the party of law and order. Like, they fucking, like, Kamala said that she's going to commit to making sure the American military is the most lethal fighting force in the world.
Yeah, that's a little
it was
spooky.
Just, yeah,
like,
what
are they not already?
Like, we're gonna make sure that we can kill some folks. Like, it's just like, it was just this like whole like they're talking about freedom and all shit. Like, they're just like hitting the plot points of like Republicans from 20 years ago, because now Republicans just talk about genitals all the time. So the Democrats are now just like, they're just trotting out like the George Bush policy. I did really like, though, that they kept teasing that there was going to be this big guest on the final night, and just nobody was there. It just didn't end up being anybody. They had Pink perform earlier in the night, but she wasn't supposed to be the main guest. So it seems like maybe
it was. Do you think it was Charlie XCX?
No, I think the
Kamala's really embraced the whole brat summer thing.
Yeah, fucking goddamn, shoot me in the fucking dick, dude. But like, I think there was a lot of scuttlebutt by like people working there and whatnot that it was going to be Beyonce.
Oh, that would have made sense.
Beyonce dropped at the last minute. I know that
Beyonce would have been huge, dude.
Yeah, there was also talk that it would be Taylor Swift, but that didn't happen.
Yeah, she's really kept it tight-lipped ever since the threat on the concert in Austria. And I do think that Taylor Swift is a coward for not like using her platform for good, right? Like, I stand by that, and I think artists should have meaning behind their art, and if they lack that meaning, then I think it's totally fair to question whether it's actually got artistic merit. And if Taylor Swift wants to play this fucking like all sides are equal fucking thing, fuck her. I really mean that. Like, and I'm not coming at any Swifties. Like, I think enjoy whatever you enjoy. I'm not knocking her music. There are Taylor Swift songs I enjoy, but I do think that it's cowardly of her not to take more of a stance. And frankly, even
she's about her paper, dude.
She's about her paper. And you know what? Like, we live in a society where that's acceptable, but like, at the very least, like, be rich and stand for something.
Yeah.
Even if it's something I disagree with, I would respect it more than the neutrality. That I find really difficult to support or get behind.
That's why I am like the biggest fanboy of Kneecap. Like, they played at Reading.
They're cool.
They played at Reading on Friday, and like 25,000 people, Reading Festival, and they just put a huge sign up, like on the like Jumbotron or whatever, that said that the British government is enabling the genocide in Gaza.
Yeah.
Like,
good.
Kneecap is real as fuck, man. They're so sick.
Yeah, and I think I was actually trying to describe this to someone the other day, and it extends beyond like political involvement and stuff, but to sort of all areas of music, right? Like, I just don't find music compelling that doesn't challenge anything.
Yeah.
If it doesn't challenge your concept of what like popular music should be, or what socially acceptable music should be, or what like political neutrality would demand of a musician, if it doesn't challenge any of that, like, what is the fun in it? Right? Like, Evan and I are both like, big fans of like largely underground music, and it's not that we don't like pop music, but even the popular music that I like, and you tell me if this is true for you, has generally been at some point subversive, right? So like, if there isn't an element of subversion there, whether it's subverting, social norms or cultural norms or political norms or some combination of the three, what is the real draw? What excites people about a musician who doesn't fucking stand for anything?
Yeah.
It's so strange. And I'm not saying everybody's got to be Gigi Allen. I would hate to go to a Gigi Allen show. I don't like poop. I don't like it on me. I don't like it around me. Frankly, I don't like it in me. As soon as it's ready to come out, I'm all for it. Get that shit out of me. So I'm not saying you got to be like that, but I mean, at least, fuck it, dude. I don't know. Like this whole situation right now, like with Donald Trump wanting to use the Foo Fighters and Dave Grohl being like, no, I don't like you. Please don't use my music.
Yeah.
I'm not some big Foo Fighters guy, and that's not even a big stance to take, but it's like, okay, great. That's something, right? Like Dave Grohl saying, hey, man, I think you're a piece of shit. Please don't play my songs. Great. That's something. There's an element of subversion there that I can understand people grasping to, but it drives me absolutely fucking nuts.
Yeah.
The neutrality of Taylor Swift drives me absolutely fucking nuts.
Yeah, she is she's very corporate.
A fundamentally uncompelling fucking individual and musician. Like just and I'm not knocking the quality of her output.
She's got some bangers.
She
like
really
some of her
does.
songs.
She's just not like
as a person. Yeah, I agree. In a similar vein, it was very funny that Obama did one of his annoying ass like songs of the summer or whatever songs that he's enjoying.
Yeah, his playlists are always fake. Like who cares?
They are. But did you notice that they did not pick a Chappell Roan song?
Interesting. Why did she call him like a fascist or something?
They were trying to avoid what happened last year. I think it was last year.
Oh, when
Obama
Boy
put
Genius,
a Lucy Dacus, put a Lucy Dacus song on there, and Lucy Dacus quote tweeted it "war criminal."
Yeah.
So yeah.
I think he put a Boy Genius song on there, and she's in Boy Genius too.
Yeah. It was Boy Genius. It wasn't just Lucy Dacus.
They're so good, dude. They are so objectively fucking awesome, and I personally I like Phoebe Bridges, but I also there's Lucy Dacus, Phoebe Bridges.
The little one? The little one?
What the heck is her name?
What's her name? I can't
remember. Her first 2 albums are so good. I can't remember her name, but she's fascinating. She's like a metalhead, like Christian lesbian, and her songwriting is so good. And like, look at me, I can't even remember her fucking name right now. I'm obviously not that big of a fan, but I was listening to her recently.
Yeah. But yeah, I believe Chappell Roan has made some like pretty like left wing comments before.
Julian Baker.
Like,
sorry.
Yeah, Julianne. Yeah. But they were definitely trying to avoid the war criminal quote tweet again.
Yeah, 100%. Which is like, but again, it's like that is like the perfect example of what I'm talking about. It's like there's nothing fucking don't repost Barack Obama's fucking playlists. Don't do that. Just like don't use Pitchfork to decide what you should listen to. Like shit like that. Like it's just fucking stupid.
Yep.
Just talk to your friends, dude. They'll recommend shit. And then
Yep.
Dude, frankly, even like if you have Spotify or Tidal or whatever, like just go through like similar artists until you find stuff.
Oh yeah, like yes. And yeah, dude, Spotify has recommended me so much good music.
Yeah.
Like I feel like Spotify's got me pretty nailed down.
Yeah, Spotify
is what I
is
want to
killer.
hear.
I've actually been like a really bad like music listener this year. So I think my Spotify Wrapped this year might be like the funniest one I've ever gotten.
Was it just going to be 100% Iron Maiden?
No, not even, dude. That wouldn't be a problem. That would be sick as hell, dude. No, I feel like I would at least
top
get like,
0.01% listeners Iron Maiden.
No, I feel like I know you're not a big Maiden head, but I fucking love Iron Maiden.
They're fine. Yeah.
That wouldn't be like a problem for me. No, I feel like it's like 90% of my Spotify listing this year has been fucking audiobooks and like playlists that are literally like background music for when I'm like writing or reading. Like so it's gonna be like this weird combination of like or what ends up happening to me a lot is like if I think a song has like a really sick like breakdown or guitar solo or intro, even if it's not like my favorite band or my favorite song, those will often get like way bumped up in my because I'll re-listen to those parts over and over again, whether I'm sitting there trying to like learn them on guitar or it's just like I think this is sick as hell. So like I'm sure it'll be like a couple of like random like deathcore songs that I thought had sick call-outs in them, and then like it'll make it seem like I'm some jazz head, and I'm just not. Like like
mine is just gonna be like meathead hardcore because like I mainly listen to Spotify at the gym.
Yeah.
So it's gonna be like fucking just like Pain of Truth.
Yeah, and I mean that's cool. I wish mine was gonna be like that. Mine's not gonna be like that. Like it's gonna be like, oh Cam, this year you loved like I don't even fucking know the Acacia Strain and like Eric Satie, and it's like, nah, man, I'm sorry, but that's not. Yeah, that's not actually true. I'm just my Spotify shit is fake. I'm not good at. I don't know. Maybe I should make a conscious effort to have a cool Wrapped and like spend the next 4 months. Like power listening to fucking respectable shit.
Yeah. Yeah. Maybe you should do that. You should make a playlist of respectable things. The Wrapped Respectability list.
So that was my plan. So Evan and I went and saw King Gizzard in New York.
Yeah.
And when I was coming back, I was like, oh, like I haven't done like a real like specific playlist in a while, and I have a lot of fun doing that. So maybe I'll do that when I get home. And instead, what I decided to do is like pick a fight with my now ex-girlfriend, and then like spend 5 days in like absolute fucking like knockdown, drag out hell, like getting my shit rocked and like just getting accused of being the worst. So I didn't make the playlist, but maybe that would be good for me.
Yeah,
maybe I should do that. Anyway, on that note, I gotta go. I gotta go. Okay, I gotta go do some laundry. I'm glad that we were able to get together and do this. And okay, so there's things that we say. Thank you guys for listening. First of all, we appreciate you immensely. We do have a Patreon. We have been getting some recent activity on that, and I don't know if Evan has information at hand to shout out some folks, but we do have a Patreon. It's www.patreon.com/leftunread, not leftunreadpod. We appreciate those that have donated, those that continue to donate. It's important to us, but we are also, if you are not able or willing to financially support the show, we appreciate all forms of support, whether that be an email, which we always post in our show notes, whether that be a follow on Twitter or whatever, the Everything app. We appreciate word of mouth recommendations, ratings on Spotify or Apple Music or Overcast or whatever. All of that helps us, boosts us in the algorithm, gets us out to a broader listener base. We are a grassroots show, you know what I mean? We don't have the kind of situation going here where we're going to be anything but that. Like we're all totally listener based and funded and engaged and whatever. That's our bread and butter. So Evan, is there anyone you want to shout out?
So I want to shout out a fan of the show, Carl, who bumped up to the top level of Patreon level, the Con of Cons tier. So we want to thank Carl for that. Sent us a really nice, heartwarming message that we really enjoyed.
Oh yeah, that was so nice of you, man. That really made our week.
Yeah, and also shout out, Cam and I do make an effort, like when we do regional episodes in different languages, that we do make an effort to try to pronounce things correctly in German or French. Or
we try.
Or, I had Ancient Mysteries, Ancient Britannia one with the Welsh in it, and he said actually specifically that we actually do really well with it.
That was
and
cool.
that
I don't believe him. I think he was just being nice because Welsh is fucking nuts. But that was very cool.
But he said, he said if we ever need help with it, that he would reach out with the pronunciation. But that we nail it better than most other podcasts, so it's not necessary. But yeah, so anyway, too, like please, like if you have anything that you'd like to talk to us about, or like offer any helpers or anything like that, you can just reach out. You can email us, or you can DM us on Patreon. We'll see the DMs on Patreon first, because those are the money listeners there. So anyway, again, wanted to thank Carl for that. That was a really nice
that was really cool.
Enjoyed it.
That was really cool. So thank you for that. And not that we don't appreciate all attempts at communication, but sometimes they're less nice.
Yeah, sometimes they tell us that we just sound like dudes who should only talk about fast food.
Oh my god. Well, we're not not that petty. I wasn't thinking of that's true though. That was really fun. And you know what? We could probably talk about fast food for at least a whole episode.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm not a small man. Like I'll
they smoked their asses with that one.
We did get got with that pretty.
Yeah. So anyway, so thank you guys. Thanks again for listening. We really appreciate it. And we'll get back in yours next week. We were kind of had like a busy stretch here, and it was tough for us to get together. But we'll be back again next week with another episode. So
yeah. Yep. All right, guys. Well, as Evan said, we'll see you next time on another exciting episode
of Left on Red. See you.
Bye.
I want you to hit it. take it to the east side.